Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into the PHLY Phillies podcast. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington. I am very much, Renee, feeling the Friday vibes. For some reason this week, I don't know, it just felt long. Very much looking forward to the weekend myself. How about you? Are you feeling the true Friday sense of, a couple days off and looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, it's definitely it's Fife Friday.
Yeah, I don't feel this every Friday, but today I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know if it's the weather or
I
what.
do feel like this week's been feeling like a wonky week. Like I know for
bit,
me because
yeah.
like midweek I was just in a fog and was like I'm back kind of now, guys. I'm back.
I'm back
like I never left. But like that really threw my week for a loop. And then overall, like there's been just a lot of chaos personally and things just going on in the world. And
well, you got a fun weekend to look forward to at least?
I do. I'm
Good.
excited
There
for the
you go.
weekend. Yeah, and I'm excited that we made it to Friday, guys.
I have a pretty big deal happening on Sunday. The big guy, Santa. I know him, the most famous man in the world.
It's Santa.
He's coming to our neighborhood.
Like Elf, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a great day. Luckily for me, the Eagles flexed into Monday night, and we'll get our Eagles predictions before we get out of here. So that was nice of the Eagles to allow me to spend the day with my girls and Santa. We got a dance recital on Sunday. So
such a fun weekend.
My oldest is
Santa dance recitals. You know what? It always makes me laugh because like I'm sure you're the same way, but me and my sisters we're 3 years apart. They're twins and I'm 3 years younger.
Oh, I didn't know.
And so we always were, and so we always like went out together and like weekends, like our parents would make fun of us like, oh, you guys are going out again, to be stepping on our heels and our like dresses or whatever. And now we're at a point now where it's like last Saturday we had like a bubble party where like they were at my house. I have a bubble machine and like the kids, I had the music going and we were like dancing and popping bubbles. We were like, Saturday night we're having a bubble party.
Yeah.
We've got bottles too. We had bottles on deck of apple juice and stuff. And we're like, wow, what has our life become? Like you just every once in a while have those moments where it's like
it happens quick.
It happens very fast.
Yeah.
I'm in on a weekend and I'm having a bubble party. Like that's where our life is. So you're having such a fun weekend.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Seeing Christmas through your kids' eyes is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Makes you fall in love with it all over again.
For sure. Well, in the chat, welcome, guys. I see you guys are rolling in the chat. Yes, Eugene Krabs. I have sisters. Thank you for the compliment on my camo shirt. And then also I heard you guys saying some other things and we're just going to let those rock. But welcome in, Hypothetical Man, Dave, John, Eugene, Santiago, who always likes to drop the hashtag single Renee. I don't know what
Is he shooting a shot?
It started on a Union show because I was saying how I was a little bit bitter about Taylor and Travis because one part of me, I was torn. One part of me was jealous and the other part of me was just...
Jealous because she got Travis? Yeah. Or jealous because he got
Taylor?
Taylor?
Like, I'd love to be a Taylor to someone's Travis. Like, I'd love that. Like, I'd love to be sitting up
I didn't
with
realize
Donna.
what a beefcake Travis Kelce was considered until my wife was like, yeah, like the kind of like macho athlete guy. He's a 10.
Swag. He's got like this
and I was like, oh, he's a 10?
vibe.
She's like, yeah, if that's your type, he's a 10.
But
I was like, oh, okay.
But not to go on a quick rant because here we are, guys, going off the rails already, and this is what happens. This is why the show always ends up going long. I told Jamie's like, we're gonna be out of here early. I'm like, no, we're not. We're gonna be out of here late because we never done early. Real quick though, in all seriousness, and there's probably no women in the chat right now. As I'm seeing Chris Miller, Eric, what's up? Christopher O'Donnell, lots
Where's
of Chris's.
Christy and Barbara Carroll and everything.
Steven, welcome guys. Listen, I will say Travis has lost a little of his sex appeal.
Ooh, hot take.
First of all, he hasn't been playing as well. And overall, just him being all like lovey-dovey with Taylor. A lot of women out here are saying Travis has dropped off. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, hey, it's not a Kansas City show. We don't care. I don't care. And I will say I agree with that.
I saw
a
a headline yesterday. It was like, Travis Kelce to throw Taylor Swift. Extravagant New York City birthday party. Price is no cost. And I was like, yeah, no shit, price isn't a cost.
Yeah,
it's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Like, of course. Like, do we really need... like, there's fatigue for the two of them.
So over it. Yeah. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
Done with them.
So, yes, a lot to get into today, including Shohei Otani. Officially a Dodger. The Dodgers make some moves. The Kansas City Royals have been real active for once. There's a lot to get into, but we'll kick it off with the Phillies. And Renee, I just want to say something so my stance is completely clear. I will do bad and unmentionable things for the Phillies to go get Randy Arozorena.
Oh, Lord.
I will do...
Okay, wait. Because I tweeted this out. I tweeted, what would you be willing to do to sign Yamamoto? And we're going to get to Yamamoto also because, of course, there were the reports, and as we know, that came out, he was meeting with the Phillies yesterday. So between the two of them, what are you willing to do? And I'm curious for you guys in the chat. I'm a little nervous, actually, to even ask this question for the Eugene Krabs and Santiago's and Mickey's. Like, I don't know where you're going to go with this, but what are you willing to do to sign one of them? And then I feel like to sign both, you would just go in. Like, I mean, let's just start with one.
I'll walk naked down Broad Street from North Philly to South Philly if they get both of them. I don't think anybody wants to see that, Renee. But
I just don't think.
Well, I saw you say you would eat cheese, which is...
I would eat cheese on the show.
Yeah. So I hate mushrooms. Like, your cheese is my mushrooms. So, like, give me a big portobello steak mushroom, and I will eat it. I will gobble it up here.
Just the mushroom by itself?
Don't they do like the portobello burgers? Like I'll put,
on the burger.
Yeah, like big thick boy.
Oh, okay.
Like the thought of biting into that makes me want to like vomit and die. But if that means Randy Arozarena is playing left field for the Phillies, I'm in.
Okay.
So I'll start
in the chat, some of you guys, John, you're saying you will wear socks. Jamie will wear socks.
Never.
Put those things away. Chris is just saying Randy. Hypothetical man saying you like Randy, but you don't like him that much. See,
his defense is not great. I mean, that's where it starts. But you have center fielders that are tremendous.
Yamo camo. Okay, I would do much more for Yamo.
Well, him being
that's
20.
The nickname I'm giving him now.
Okay, we're at nickname stage already with Yamo.
I would do a lot more for Yamo to come to Philly than Randy. Randy, I think I would probably like eat a tomato. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, wow. But that's still gross because I cannot. I don't like the texture of tomatoes. It's so weird. It's
nice
so weird.
Beef steak tomato.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Why other fruits and vegetables are not gushy like that? Like, what is that? What is that?
Oh, it's like some good country white bread with mayo and tomato sandwich.
No. Oh my gosh. That's gross.
Renee.
Okay. For Yamamoto,
Patricia
though,
Washington.
That's not my middle name, and I'm really disappointed in you, Jamie.
This is like the third time we've been through this. Wait. I thought it was Patricia. No.
You're close, guys. What is my middle name? What is my middle name?
Pat. What's close to Patricia? It's not Patty. I'll just call you Pat. Renee Patty Washington.
No, it's not Patty. Patty.
I swore it was Patricia.
No, you're so close. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Patrice O'Neal, Renee Washington, Patrice O'Neal. I need to marry them in my head. All right, I think I got it going.
Sure.
You know Patrice O'Neal, right?
Yeah.
He's funny.
Play by play with JJ. Thank you. You feel me? Like I'm assuming that's on the tomatoes thing. So listen, let's start with Randy before I even get into what I would do for Yamamoto. Because Randy, hearing the news, Ran?
Not everyone needs a nickname, Renee. We can just call him Randy.
I am 1,000% a nickname person if you guys haven't.
I think we all figured that out by now.
I just think it's cool, but it makes it personal. Like, that means that we're close. Like, I'm going to give you a whole nickname. You know, I actually don't even have one for you, which is weird, I guess means we're not that close. So that for Randy Arozarena, as the reports came out, we've been hearing some different rumors that people have been sharing that he might be moved. Of course, there were the discussions that Jeff Passan reported that teams were asking, and then Mark Tompkin of the Tampa Bay Times said that the Rays are listening. You know, they were at least open to hearing the conversations and the interest from people. And then John Heyman hinted around some talks that the Dodgers were interested, because the Dodgers have been interested in everybody, guys, at this point. Let's be honest. Yeah. The Dodgers have literally been in talks with everyone. Of course, they did make a trade. We will get into those details around Tyler Glasnow trade
beginning to hate
the Dodgers. And yes, we are hating the Dodgers, but we're not talking about them yet. But for Randy Arozarena, you know, looking at his details, he's under team control via arbitration through 2026. He is projected to receive a $9 million salary next year.
That's free real estate.
Yeah. And so with the Rays being a team that's financially actually in a pickle right now because it's projected that their 2024 payroll is going to stretch well beyond their established limits with his $9 million projected salary being part of that problem. Potentially, he might be moving before free agency hits in 2026. So then came the question, where will he go? There were 10 teams listed, of course, the Phillies being one of them. Rangers, Dodgers, Mets, Dodgers, come on, enough of you.
Yeah,
Rangers, Dodgers, Mets, Blue Jays, Cardinals, Giants, Marlins, Padres, Mariners, Phillies, which gets us all excited because with the Phillies, he'd be able to give you a lot of the Phillies could use.
I mean, I think he makes your lineup the best. I don't want to say the best in. I mean, the Dodgers lineup is going to be nasty, but it's right there with the Braves and the Dodgers. Like, you're neck and neck. I mean, if you have the flexibility to have Schwarber as the true DH. And Randy Arozorena is a better fielder than Kyle Schwarber. So if you start seeing people online being like, oh, you can't get him because he's as bad a fielder as Schwarber. No, the hell he is not. Very few are. We've been through such bad left fielder experiences over the last decade between Rhys Hoskins and Kyle Schwarber that like anything is an upgrade.
Yeah.
We've dealt with the worst, so we can deal with Randy's slight lack of defense. But, he's still 28 years old, as you mentioned, the arbitration control. That's very sexy. You probably are going to have to give up a Mick Abel to get in the door with that conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. 28 years old, he's one of the younger core pieces you'll have at an affordable number. And he's just a really good right-handed bat that you need in this lineup. He
is one of only 3 players, to have more than 20 homers, 20 stolen bases in each of the last 3 seasons, all while posting a pretty solid above average 124 OPS. Randy has the ability to help, as you talk about, lift this roster in a major way.
Huge.
And also, I know a lot of people are concerned about, the other side of him as an outfielder. Yeah, obviously there's a concern there, but if he's giving you great at-bats, that's one thing that the Phillies need to upgrade in. We talked about it. We talked about the bats going cold. We talked about the struggles and frustrations there. Some people are comparing him to maybe, a little bit of what Kyle Schwarber is, but I don't think he's that.
No, he's much better.
He's not that bad.
And he's got a cannon of an arm, too.
Right. So I listen, that news excites me because he would absolutely be able to add exactly what the Phillies are looking for.
Yeah, I think it would be a whole lot of it exciting. I mean, if you talk about a top of an order, now he's not like the contact hitter that many are kind of looking about.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, he's had 600 plus plate appearances and kind of averages out to like a 263, 264 average over those 3 years, which is fine in today's game. Home run wise, he does give you a little bit of pop. He had 23 last year, 2020, the 2 years before that. So you figure the translation from a big dome to Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
He's probably good for 25, maybe 26, 27 home runs here in this lineup. But like the speed of him and Schwarber, excuse me, Schwarber's never fast. The speed of him and Turner at the top of a lineup, and it allows you to put maybe Schwarber down at 4.
Man.
Like if you went Arozarena, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, and I know, God forbid, Schwarber's the leadoff hitter, but if that's your top 4,
Nasty.
That is disgusting. And then your lineup becomes truly scary. And then you have Bohm and JT, 5-6, however you want to do that. Then Nick Castellanos becomes like a 7-hitter for you with Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh or whatever combination you do in center field.
Man.
Like that lineup becomes filthy. He kind of, I don't want to say like he completes it, but he would tie it together in a real championship matter. So I would do a lot for Randy Arozarena. And I hope Dave Dombrowski feels the same way.
Yeah, I know Chris Miller was saying, and Dave Fry were saying similar things, like not too concerned about him as a fielder.
No, God, no.
And look, the other part of this, the proposed trade that I saw that was dropped for being able to make it happen and bring Randy to the Phillies.
Threw out some actual prospects?
Yeah, actually, I did
me.
see it. I know. Yeah, so this was, it was Bleacher Report put this out. They're putting out some trade proposals for each of the 10 teams that are considered teams that could possibly trade for Randy Arozarena. So the trade proposal is this. The Phillies would get Randy Arozarena.
Okay, all right.
Okay, done next.
All right. What do you got?
All right. Here you go. Are you guys ready?
Let me get my GM cap on. All right. Hit me.
Switch your hats. So the Phillies would get Randy Arozorena. The Rays would get Mick Abel, Griff McGarry.
See ya.
And actually, I think that's all they have.
See ya. Done. Done and done.
Now that I'm reading it. Yeah, that's it.
Griff
that's
McGarry's fallen out of your top 10. And if you're the Rays, you have a really good player development system.
Yeah. You get
might
your
see
second
something.
and fifth best prospects.
Yeah.
You get to prepare for the future. They're going to cost you less because, of course, the Rays are dealing with some financial issues. Talk to Padres. You don't want to become the Padres. Get those financial issues squared away. So how about you move Randy Arozarena? We can take him off your hands, send him on over to the Phillies, and then we'll send you our guys in Mick and Griff.
And done. If that's all it takes, sure.
That's
like
it.
Griff McGarry's nothing against him, but he's already I've already kind of lost faith.
Yeah.
Because he's fallen out of the Phillies top 10 prospects like that. He struggled all year. Mick Abel had some struggles too. But again, prospects for proven commodity that the Phillies are in a championship window. And, a lot of these other teams listed are in those same kind of windows. The Dodgers, the Giants are just desperate. The Mariners are like close and need to push in, so they might make sense. The Padres, they're broke boys. They're not John Middleton, black and mild money. The Marlins aren't going to make a move. That's not them.
Yeah.
The Rangers, possibly. The Mets are becoming pretty desperate.
They
And
are.
then the Blue Jays and Red Sox. It is weird that the Red Sox are kind of as quiet and dormant as they are. But the Blue Jays appear to be looking to make a move, whether that's Cody Bellinger or they get in the sweepstakes for an Arozarena. But if I'm Dave Dombrowski, 28 years old, and I can add him to this core, man,
it's a win now situation. I know in the chat
really
you guys are talking about because MBDBDBF and a couple others are anti moving the prospects, and we get it, guys. There's potential there, especially with Painter and his injury, that yes, there's some concern, and you want to make sure you're investing in the prospects, but it's a win now situation.
What Phillies pitching prospects outside Aaron Nola and Cole Hamels have done shit in the last 15 years?
And that's why I can't be stuck on
Ranger.
prospects.
I have to say Ranger. I think Ranger's pretty good.
But how many have also on the reverse not panned out?
Oh, 96% of them.
Right.
So I'm not going to let that stop me.
I did see mention about Gurriel, and I know Cameron Maben actually was tweeting out something like, I'm not hearing enough about the market for Lourdes Gurriel.
Cameron Maben's become a pretty interesting Twitter follower.
He has. Yeah. I was like, oh, actually, yeah, I agree with you because we talked about Gurriel on the show.
We have, yeah. I think MBD or somebody just
mentioned him in the chat, and would you rather just go out and get him instead?
No.
Also, there was the mention about with the White Sox looking to bring in our guy Robert, who we talked about.
Luis.
So there's other options, but if he's on the table and the Rays have to move him because of financial reasons, hey,
make that
why
call,
not
Dave.
make it happen? I'm all for it. So I think the prospects, I understand some of you are nervous about moving these prospects, but as we've talked about,
don't be scared. Don't be a coward.
Let's take
Just
that risk.
move them.
Take that risk. Everything will be fine. It's a win now situation. I'd rather, if I had to choose between a prospect, you either are winning a World Series or you have a prospect that you keep. You don't win a World Series, you keep the prospect and they actually end up being good.
Yeah, Mick Abel isn't going to contribute.
Which would you rather have happen?
He's not going to contribute to a championship window in the next 2 years.
Would you rather a World
way.
Series or potentially you get a World Series and you might potentially look back and say, oh, we made a mistake on that guy. We missed out on the guy, but we won a title. Or on the other side, you don't win a title. And I'm not saying someone like Randy's going to solidify a title, but it helps
he improves your chances.
Helps you out in a big way, especially with all these moves that other teams, Dodgers, are making. The Phillies need to make a big move.
So the two big Phillies kind of nuggets out there, Randy Arozarena, would you? I think the answer from Renee and I is undoubtedly yes. And then the other one was yesterday in L.A. The Phillies met with your boy, Yamamoto. Wait, Yamo? Is that or Yamo?
Oh, Yamo. I didn't say Yomo.
If you're gonna create a nickname, you got to stick to it, Renee.
I'm sorry. Actually, Yomo is kind of cool too. But Yomo sounds too much like Tony Romo to me, so I can't go with that. Yamo. Yamamoto.
So the Phillies brass, I haven't seen it reported who was actually there. But I'm sure it pales in comparison to Shohei Otani, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts walking into that meeting.
For sure.
But, Dave Dombrowski and the Phillies brass did meet with him yesterday. They had Bryce Harper narrate a video, a sales pitch to him, if you will.
It's been reused. It's a recycled pitch at this point.
Yeah, and the reason I'm excited about Arozarena is I think that's a potential real possibility. Yamamoto, I think, is a total pipe dream / PR move by the Phillies. And I don't hate them for it. Like, you have every call, you have every meeting, but I just don't think that's a real possibility. Whereas Arozarena, I'm like chomping at the bit here. Like, yeah, this is real. Go get the guy.
Yeah, I'd give a lot for Yamo to be in Philly.
Would you give $300 million for a guy that's
money.
never
thrown
a major league pitch?
If I get a cut of it, yeah. Give me anything. I'll even take 10% off the top.
Yeah,
for $300 million. Like, sure. I
think that's horrifying to give $300 million to a guy that's never thrown a pitch in the majors. I think he's going to be good, but $300 million good? I understand he's 25. He's in his prime. You don't get these pitchers at that age very often, but he still has to produce. And again, not my money, but that expenditure does prohibit other moves you can make. So there is a financial anchor tied to it. So I don't know. I don't want to say I'm out on him, but $300 million for 10 plus years, like, what the hell are we doing? And Renee's dying.
This is why I need the weekend to come.
So just give me Randy Arozorena for $9 million, as opposed to Yamamoto, who's unproven for 30 plus.
Like, I smoked a pack a day.
Cowboy killers last night.
Oh my God. Yeah, basically. So I do think the chances, if I had to pick between the two, in my opinion, the Phillies absolutely have a better chance, and it makes more sense. You guys are nervous about prospects moving. I'm definitely nervous about all that money that you're giving up. I've said this before, the ROI, the return on investment for a 25-year-old Yamamoto who hasn't thrown a single pitch in the majors, who has tons of potential.
Yeah.
Tons of potential. We all get it. We know. We've seen the numbers. We've seen the video. We know he's listen, a hot commodity on the market right now for a reason, but still a huge, huge gamble just financially too, in that sense. Like, he absolutely should pan out. So, and hopefully he does. And that'd be great if he was with the Phillies. Now, if I had to choose again, I think I'd be more likely and comfortable eating cheese for Randy. But I would do more for Yamamoto, I think, if that makes any sense, because this could be
like
something
if I
special.
I got a cheese fondue.
Ew, oh my God.
Fountain right here on the table. God. Would you dip various meats and fruits and whatever bread in there for Yamamoto?
Why did you have to take it so far?
Just oozing hot cheese.
Okay.
It's delightful.
A cheese fondue is this. I literally want to vomit right now. This has gone too far, Jamie.
But would you do it?
No, that's gross. I was thinking of nibbling on a little slice of cheese, like a cheese stick or something, like a whole fondue.
That's not enough.
That is so enough.
No, we gotta.
Julia was eating cheese the other day, and it was yesterday actually, and I was like, yeah, you were literally eating string cheese. I was like, oh. No, it's fine. You guys don't have to stop eating cheese around me. I was scarred from string cheese in grade school because I love a string cheese when it's cold right out of the fridge. But if you had one that was sitting in your lunchbox for 4 or 5 hours, and by the time you got to it, Renee, and it was all warm and kind of okay.
I was a little scarred from that because right out of the fridge they slap. When it's been sitting around at room temperature for 5 hours, not so much. I would eat cheese. Would you eat a 5-hour room temperature polio over the fondue? Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. This is, Yamamoto, my stomach if you're listening, churning right now. It's churning. I literally think I'm gonna vomit. Yeah. So again, but probably not realistic. I love the excitement of it. I do think it's a good PR move to at least throw for the Phillies to have their name thrown in the hat and say they're one of the 7 teams in the mix. What does that even mean, in the mix? Are you? It's like buying a lottery ticket and saying I got a chance. I bought a lottery ticket, so I'm in the mix for winning the lottery. No, you're really not. So I absolutely think it's great that the Phillies at least had a meeting with him. I think that good. You're seeing it all the way through, and we'll see what happens. I know many people are like myself, kind of okay, there's a sliver of a chance that the Phillies actually land Yamamoto. But hey, if it were to happen, if the news were to break, Phillies sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto for 10 years, $300 million. Oof, just saying that. Before we move on, a little bit of breaking NFL news. I am not anti-cheesesteak, by the way, just to clear the rumors or the misunderstanding, I should say. I love a cheesesteak, but one time. What? How are you pro cheesesteak but anti-cheese? It's
One
the first
time-
word of it.
One time in college, we drunkenly went to get cheesesteaks, and somebody ordered whiz on my cheese.
Oh, that's the
and
good
I
stuff.
Literally threw up. That's disgusting.
Oh, I'm a whiz
That's
whip man.
disgusting. Oh, no, it was just too much.
Give me
and I was like, oh yeah, I could take a bite of it. And
when
I
Jim's has the Cheese Whiz large industrial can sitting on the griddle top when it's just like cooking.
No,
that's the good stuff.
Because
baby.
like an American or provolone cheese on a cheesesteak, I put ketchup on it too. I don't taste the cheese. Like I don't even know the cheese is there. It just is like a staple.
The whiz.
Oh no. But
Yeah.
I do like cheesesteaks and mozzarella sticks as well as cheese pizza. But cheese pizza is not cheesy like that.
What?
I don't like it. Here's
I really like. I'm uncomfortable with cheese, but I love cheesesteaks and cheese pizza and what was the other thing? And mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
It's literally that's like a string cheese. It's like, hey, would you eat 8 Polly-O string cheeses? No. Well, how about I cut them up and deep fry them and give them to you?
It's deep fried. You don't taste it the same way. If cheese is the main ingredient, like mac and cheese, grilled cheese, ham and cheese, cheeseburger, like that's too much. It's too much cheese.
Those are all less than a mozzarella stick.
I always said this is the way that I explain to people. If I can go on there and take the cheese off, it's too much cheese. But like mozzarella sticks are like cooked. It's like cooked in there. And cheese pizza, it's like cooked in there. Like it's different. Like slices of cheese or mac and cheese is literally all cheese. There's nothing but cheese. Grilled cheese, so much cheese.
Do you realize when you're saying these words how little sense it makes?
No, it makes total. Mozzarella cheese is like a fake cheese. It's not the same.
It's a Polly-O that's breaded and deep fried.
Oh, Mickey said I'm an official weirdo. Thanks, guys. You know, I feel like every day on the show I just get judged is what happens. You guys judge me for liking Pitbull.
What about cheese curds? Who's that?
Wait,
John Dickerson.
what?
Cheese curds? Oh, yeah.
Like the
Wisconsin cheese curds where it's like, I don't even know the definition of it.
Those orange things?
No, they're
What's those orange?
They're like little
chips?
balls of like loose pre-hardened cheese, kind of.
That's disgusting.
Like pre-processed. Oh,
That's
good.
disgusting. Oh, poutine and
poutine
Gouda
is delightful.
Brie cheese and
Brie's one of my favorites.
Okay, I like what is those?
Welcome
cheese?
into the PHLY
cheese
cheese show.
I like cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs?
Aren't they called cheese puffs?
Like the snack?
Yeah.
I think you like cheese.
That's not a cheesy thing though.
I mean,
I can't eat a lot of them.
flavor.
Like I don't like even like Cheez-Its, the cheddar flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, too
Really?
Much. Oh, too much.
Oh, the extra toasty
or even like
Cheez-Its?
if I get like a chicken Alfredo, that's too much cheese. I have to like scale back on it.
You're very
I don't know.
confusing
It's weird. I just tell
Renee.
people I'm allergic, so they just don't give me cheese.
Well,
that's
anyway, this started with me saying there was a little piece of breaking NFL news in the show, and the Chargers fired Brandon Staley.
Yes, I knew it was gonna happen. You just got blown out on Thursday
63
night.
points last night.
Wait, people were posting videos of him doing his pregame routine, and they were like,
Him on
"He's not gonna be on OnlyFans."
That one made me chuckle last night.
I was like, he's so out of here because the Chargers this season have been just terrible.
And
It's
I take some glee in this because he refused to even interview with the Eagles because of Howie Roseman, so he wouldn't even take their interview.
Go eat some cheese and go do your weird pregame routines elsewhere.
All right. Well, our own John Foley is here with us, and since we've barely talked baseball and we've mostly talked cheese,
that's your fault.
Let's bring John.
Cheetos are actually pretty good.
Cheetos. Those are basically
but
cheese.
But like again, Cheetos, Cheez-Its, those things aren't like, it's a different kind of cheese.
So John, to catch you up to speed here,
oh, no.
Renee hates cheese but loves cheesesteaks, cheese pizza, and mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, this makes absolutely no sense. My brain hurts. I'm following the conversation here. I think you like cheese. I think mozzarella stick, that's cheese in maybe its most purest form.
I think what we're getting at here is you like warm cheese, not cold cheese.
Yeah, is that so? Situations
Wait,
like
Eugene Crowd just said, per Adam Schefter, PHLY Sports is parting ways with Renee Washington. You guys just pick on me on this show is what I'm finding out. There's nothing wrong with my likes and dislikes. Apparently, it's just me on an island all the time, though. I'm the only one here of all these people in the chat, and you guys, I'm the only one that's
that you don't like cheese, but then you can't come out and be like, I like cheesesteaks,
so you
mozzarella
like every
sticks,
single
and
type
pizza.
of cheese.
Not every type of cheese.
Exactly. I don't either.
John, I have no idea what's going on.
I only like mozzarella cheese. That's it.
And American on cheesesteaks, you said.
But that's like I have to, if it's a lot, there are times that people when they overdo it on their cheesesteaks, I can't eat it. It's got to be like just a little bit of American or provolone cheese, and then I have to douse it with some nice ketchup, and I don't taste it. But if I'm tasting that cheese, I don't want it.
And what are mozzarella sticks exactly?
Fried cheese. But I don't eat them. I don't like them without marinara sauce.
Oh yeah, marinara.
So that's why.
Everything.
Like again, I'm dipping. I'm not tasting it.
So if you can cover up the cheese.
Exactly. If I can cover the cheese.
If it's hidden in the food, she'll eat it and enjoy it.
Not true though, because actually my family when I was growing up, okay, we got to move on at some point, guys. The poor people in the chat are like, I'm tired of hearing about cheese. So my family growing up tried to make me like cheese by like sneaking it in stuff, and I caught on. I was like, nope, there's cheese in this. I can taste it. Like my cheese radar is really high. So
Clearly.
yeah, clearly super high. Hi, John. Thanks for coming in and joining the attacks on Renee.
I'm sorry to join the attacks. How's baseball going?
So, John, the one part of baseball we did talk so far outside the meeting with Yamamoto yesterday, I would do vile, unmentionable, and disgusting things for the Phillies to get Randy Arozorena. What are your thoughts on potentially getting involved in an Arozarena arena? Huh.
Wow, look at you, clever.
I would do some things too. I mean, he's incredible. He's a great fit. Just mashes left-handed pitching. I was looking at his numbers before I hopped on here. It was 920 OPS. Woo. That's a good fit, but I am skeptical that it's going to happen because one of the things the Phillies seem to be doing is setting up for the future, where you maybe have Rojas in center, Marsh in left. Do you want to commit resources to somebody like that in left field, and then it sort of blocks the path for Rojas unless Rojas would be sort of in the deal. But my feeling has really been like they can't go after somebody too good, because what if Rojas comes in spring training and he's killing the ball and you love him in center and Marsh needs a spot in left? You can't sign somebody awful either, because what does that bring you? So that puts me in like the Tommy Pham journeyman category. So I'd hate to be a bummer on that. I hope I'm wrong.
No, I mean, I think it's a small chance it happens, but the fact that he's available, I go a right-handed bat, a left fielder, which in my opinion they need because Brandon Marsh is flexible to platoon with either Pache or Rojas. I just think it really elevates you to that Braves and Dodgers type of offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an arms race right now, and teams like the Dodgers are just taking things to a whole new level. So you look at the Phillies, you see a good roster. You compare it to the Dodgers, and we can talk all we want about. We'll just get them in the playoffs. We'll get in with 89, 90 wins, and then beat the 115 win super teams. I don't know how many years you want to count on that. We beat the Braves 2 years in a row. You've got to deal with the Braves and this Dodger squad that they're building. It's nasty, and I think if the Phillies really want to be, the players that they're trying to be, you might have to do something like this. You might have to. I don't know. I have no idea what they offered Yamamoto, but maybe you have to be aggressive with him and just do some things that are surprising, because you're up against these super teams. It's disheartening in some ways. I have faith in our guys, but
yeah, and of course the Dodgers just added and officially sealed the deal on their trade for Tyler Glasnow. So we had been talking about it on the show. The deal went down officially yesterday. So in that trade, the Dodgers pick up Tyler Glasnow, Manuel Margot from the Rays, and then Ryan Pepio and Johnny DeLuca move from the Dodgers. Now, the details have been getting dropped. I know Jeff Passan was tweeting them out that Tyler Glasnow is going to get a 4-year, $110 million extension in addition to the $25 million he was going to earn, or he will earn in 2024.
5 years, 135.
But interesting enough, there have been some rumors and reports that the Dodgers actually did not want Margot. Instead, they wanted Randy Arozorena to be involved in a trade somehow, and weren't interested in Margot. So it seems like he kind of got thrown in there. But either way, them locking in on Tyler Glasnow is a huge addition to this team. And looking at the names they now have, I mean, we already talked about it, but you now add Margot joins into their offense of already having Otani, Betts, Freeman, Muncy, Smith. They're juggernauts. They're a super team for sure. So it's scary because, as we keep talking about, you have to, for the Phillies, have to do something to keep up. Running it back with the same roster sounds good, but in reality, we're seeing the Dodgers especially out shopping for everyone. They're not done yet, even with that trade. There's reports they're still looking to bring in possibly Yamamoto or Imanaga. Like, they're still bringing in someone else. So, John, with that, does that make you even more interested in the Phillies being aggressive and trying to make a deal like this one for Randy Arozarena happen?
It absolutely does. I mean, you have the core of your team, the superstars, all about the same age. Your window is open right now. I suppose there might be some years where the roster as presently constructed for the Phillies would be, a World Series favorite. But the way the Dodgers are loading up, and you've already got the Braves in the way, it really does make you feel like, okay, you're most of the way there. But if you really want to be up there with those teams, you might have to do something big on your own. And I don't know where their true limitations are on payroll, but and they can follow the same playbook as the last few years. Get into the postseason as a wild card. See what you can do in a short series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times you want to go back to that. It's tough. It would be, and from a fan's perspective, it would be a lot more fun if we're actually competing for a division, if we're neck and neck with the Braves, racing to 104 wins during the regular season instead of just sort of sitting in that wild card spot and hoping for some more postseason magic.
Yeah, John, sometimes in Philly we don't realize like how good we have it. And it's funny, like, as the Phillies, you said, this would be a true World Series favorite in a lot of years in Major League Baseball. But unfortunately, the Braves and Dodgers stand in their way in the NL. Fangraphs recently released their best position groups in all of Major League Baseball. So I'll just run through them real quick because the Phillies are mentioned twice. And sometimes we don't realize how good it is, actually. So catcher, they give to the Orioles. First baseman, they give to the Braves. Second base, Mookie Betts and the Dodgers. Shortstop, the Rays. Third base, Orioles. Left field, Diamondbacks. Center field, Mariners. Right field, Braves. DH goes to the Dodgers and the Astros. But starting pitching and relief pitching both go to the Phillies, according to Fangraphs in a recent article this week. I'm not going to lie, kind of shocked me a little bit to see the Phillies bullpen listed as Fangraphs' best, squad.
It is really surprising, but I think it's a function of, if you look around Major League Baseball and just look at the landscape of pitching in the league, it's not quite the same. You're sort of, we used to talk about the Roy Halladay's, Cliff Lee's as like horses, and it would be talking about 8-9 innings. Now we're talking about 7 innings out of your starters, and they have some big arms in that bullpen. So the pitch, I think the pitching is the Phillies pitching is better than Phillies fans give it credit for.
Yeah,
because you're thinking about maybe some of the real the most amazing staffs the Phillies have had all the time. But if you just compare it to what else is out there around the league, the Phillies are in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Would you rather give 5 years and $135 million to Tyler Glasnow, or give 7 years and $172 to Aaron Nola? because Glasnow gets hurt a lot. Like
Yeah.
as good of a move as it is, it does have some risk involved with it.
I what I can say is I'm happy that they got Nola back in the fold at what seems like a reasonable price, and we'll all, come June, July, we'll all be complaining about him as he gives up his fourth home run of the rad fourth inning. But the truth is, he's what qualifies as a horse right now.
Yeah, I mean, as you talk about Tyler Glasnow's injuries, I did see an interesting uh, post or tweet that was out, and it was saying the Dodgers starting rotation now has a combined 37 Tommy John surgeries. It is a Major League Baseball record. And I
by
don't
the way, he
know.
sucks in the playoffs. He's worse than Kershaw in terms of ERA with innings pitched. So like,
Yeah. Like it's a lot of injuries, and that's something that's, as much as we give a lot of heat towards Aaron Nola, to be durable in any sport does go such a long way, and definitely adds extra value that you can rely on that person. See, game after game, season after season. So hey, injuries, and you're taking a look at things in terms of Tyler Glasnow specifically. Dodgers continue to add and are possibly going to be adding more, which makes things even more interesting. But John, when it comes to Yamamoto specifically, we've heard the term that the Yankees and Dodgers are co-favorites. We haven't actually had a chance to chat with you on the show about it. But of course, now with the Phillies in the mix, as well as 6 other teams, so 7 total teams in the mix with the the Yankees and Dodgers as co-favorites, where do you see Yamamoto going? As of now,
If I had, as of now, if I had to guess, like the damn Dodgers again, unfortunately, would be my guess. I do like the Phillies are mentioned as in the mix for whatever that means. If they do land him, it would be incredible, and I would just love that the Phillies went about their business in this way and made an aggressive push and were kind of under the radar and didn't leak a lot of information, but you just don't get that feel that they're really there. That of course they're doing their due diligence. And numbers are getting the predicted numbers are getting really high for Yamamoto.
crazy.
It doesn't have just the sense of it from all the talk is that the Phillies aren't really in the inner circle of the mix, that there's a couple teams, the co-favorites or whatever, and that the Phillies are just sort of around. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope they're just flying under the radar and maybe going to pull off a big surprise. I know it would be a ton of money. I've heard you all express a lot of concern about that, but
$300 million. Woo!
I know. And he's used to a 6-man rotation. They say the ball's a little different. Things. I don't know, but I do know you need to do. I really think if you want to be in that top tier of teams, and the Phillies they're in the top 5 in World Series odds, but I think there's a significant gap after the first couple. So I would like to see us do something to get in that top tier. I understand that they may not have the resources that the Dodgers have.
Yeah. I know before you jump in, Jamie, reports, of course, have indicated that Yamamoto may be signing within the next week or so, of course, with the 45-day window, January 4th being the date that he has to sign by. A lot of people in the chat saying, not our money, completely agree. There are some other comments in the chat I will get to in a moment, but we're not going to do that right now. They're funny comments, but... Right. Yeah, apparently I know. They're funny comments. But I do also want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the comments, because you guys are very entertaining right now. And I love that you're joining the conversation with us. Steve, no semicolons, Hypothetical Man, Spiral Out, Dave, John, all the Chris's that we have here. So keep the conversation going. Make sure you're hitting that like button too. And now, Jamie, I'll let you ask.
I was just going to wrap up with John because... it is Friday and the show's coming to an end here. And John, we appreciate you joining us as always. Be sure to check out John's writing on allphly.com. Give him a follow at 2008 Phils. You can follow along with the Phillies photoshopped into a movie scene until baseball returns, which has been a lot of fun. Who was the one on the Wizard of Oz door the other day? Was that Castellanos?
Oh, that was Casty.
Yeah.
That was Casty looking out. You know, nobody gets in to see the wizard.
Yeah. So John's a fun follow, and we appreciate you hopping on, John. And we will talk to you next week. And have a great weekend.
Later, John.
Same to you all. Have a great weekend.
See ya.
Right.
That is John Foley. Make sure you're following him and reading his work on allphly.com.
Yes. Well, also, guys, listen, we've heard the news. We've been following all the Otani conversations. He did, of course, have his press conference.
Did you see the line of media?
70 million people tuned into the live press conference. 70 million people, Ben Verlander tweeted out.
Wow.
For a live press conference, guys. This is the Otani effect. His agent was saying, Nez Balello, his agent was saying, Shohei never discussed location with him, West Coast versus East Coast. That didn't play into his decision. Hopefully, that will not play into Yamamoto's decision. I know in the chat, people were saying, like, Yamamoto's just window shopping right now. Mopar was saying, hopefully, location's not a factor for him as well.
Do you know the population of Japan? Because I just looked it up because I was curious.
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought.
70 million.
Couple other thoughts. Couple other thoughts. That Otani was saying one reason he chose the Dodgers, he said this in his presser, is because they told him the last 10 years were a failure despite winning a World Series and making the playoffs every year. And he said, when I heard that, I knew they were all about winning. And also within his contract, there's a couple like fine print things. So he will donate to club charity. The amount is not to exceed 1%. He also has a suite at Dodger Stadium for all regular and postseason games. Also has an interpreter that he will be provided for. And then he also can opt out of his $700 million contract.
That's the wildest part.
If the controlling owner, Mark Walter, or president of baseball ops, Andrew Friedman, were to lose their roles with the team. So Otani, we're just getting some of those fine print of his details and contracts.
Was that them going, hey, Shohei, we're giving you $700 million.
Yeah.
Can you give us job protection?
Basically,
and say,
it's the vibe that I'm getting from that. But you know where else you can get protection for your money? That's Rocket Money, because Rocket Money does a fantastic job of just providing you all the insight that you need to make sure that you are financially covered. Now, I do use Rocket Money myself, so I'm saying this is a person that saw the ads, downloaded it, and was like, oh, I need this. The Virgo in me, added to the list of all the things that you guys are learning about me. I'm also very fiscally responsible and someone that always is taking a look at my finances. So with Rocket Money, they allow you to see any subscriptions that you have, what you're getting charged for each month. So if you're getting that $2.99 charge every month and you're wondering, what is that towards? When you see it on your bank statement, Rocket Money will show you. They'll also keep in the loop if you have something new, whether it's a refund or it's a new subscription. They're keeping you up to date on where your money's going so that when you're working hard, you can too be protected financially. Now, Rocket Money is a personal finance app, helps to find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. They will reach out to companies on your behalf to cancel any subscriptions that you have. They'll monitor your spending. They'll help lower your bills. And they've had the chance to help over 5 million users save about an average of $720 per year, and with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So head over to rocketmoney.com/PHLY to check out Rocket Money. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/PHLY to save money today. All right, let's talk about population really quickly, Jamie.
So this is wild.
I didn't know. So 70 million people tuned into the press conference.
Yeah.
That's just live, not like in person.
Yeah.
That's live on like the street because they were streaming it all over the place.
So to put it in context, America, according to a quick Google search, has 331.9 million people.
Okay.
What would you guess Japan has?
Is it more or less?
It's less.
267.
It's 125.7 million, which doesn't seem that much, but when you compare the actual physical size of Japan to America, so America has 3.797 million miles squared.
Okay.
To put Japan in context, they have 145,936 miles squared.
I mean, I feel like that person to ratio makes sense, though.
That's a lot of people in not that big of an area. 125 million people in 145,000 square miles. That's all. I just dove into that and I was like, whoa. A lot of people in Japan.
I feel like the math is mathing, though, for me. Like, I'm computing it in my head right now. Because then you say it was 337 million for America to a 300 and... What was the square footage for America?
3.797 million miles squared.
Oh, that math isn't mathing as much as I
That's
thought
a big,
it was. I lost a couple
AKA
zeros
big
in there.
piece of land.
Okay.
Japan, relatively tiny compared to America, and slightly more than a third of the population. So apparently they all tuned in to Shohei Otani's press conference yesterday.
Interesting.
100 or 70 million people live watching a press conference.
Like sitting on your computer watching a press conference.
That's wild because press conferences suck, and I never believe anything.
They're very politically correct and like it's a lot of the golf clap. It's a lot of yay, taking some pictures. And yes, I do say cheese when someone takes a picture. The thing that you guys remember really cracks me up because Jamie, people are roasting me in the chat. Apparently.
Oh, you're the target today, not me.
I am the target. But it's not that bad. It's like a light roast. It's like when you burn half the marshmallow at the fire pit, not the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
With you,
that's
they burn
like
the
the
full
ideal.
thing. Yeah, it's like a perfect amount of roast.
Yeah.
Evenly spread. So, from cheese to pit bull to my bladder issues to my porta potty issues to my cheating at games. Apparently I'm a catch is what people are finding out.
Okay. That's what it boils down to. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's buzz through the rest of the news and then get to America's favorite game. Guess that ballpark. America's favorite game. A lot of people are talking about far and wide.
I heard that too.
Yeah,
I heard that
all over the place.
70 million people tuned in.
Yeah. I wish. If you guys could all tell a couple people to tune in.
Tell a friend.
We can get up to 70 million in no time. So the Kansas City Royals, like this for the people of Kansas City, because the ownership's actually going out and spending some money. They made a couple moves in getting Michael Wacha today, right before the show. 2 years, 32. Waka Waka Flame. Waka Waka.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I'm hip. I'm cool.
I mean, that's wrong.
But Michael Wacha was one of the big, Cardinals prospects that never really met his potential. But the Kansas City Royals had the 8th lowest payroll in baseball last year at $92 million. They've now spent $65 million alone in this offseason. So the Royals and Tigers are the teams kind of in the AL Central making moves. Jack Flaherty agreed to a 1-year, $14 million deal with the Tigers. So a little bit of happenings going on in the AL Central over there. But I consider Kansas City Royals fans to be a good fan base, and I hate to see them kind of neglected. So it's good to see their ownership, pony up and spend some money.
Yeah, people were saying the Royals have done more than the Phillies have done, and like what's happening.
Well, they did get Aaron Nola. That is a move.
Did see the Pirates signed Cuban right-handed pitcher Manuel Chapman. He's still just working through his physical. That's our guy. Oh my gosh, I'm blank on his name. So maybe I should. Oh, Francis, who was putting that out. He's always keeping track on the Cuban baseball players and where they're landing in terms of next steps. And then did hear the news, and we talked about this too, actually, Jamie, yesterday, but didn't have a chance to mention it. Clutch Sports is acquiring Rep 1 Baseball and its client roster, which includes a few familiar names, including Devin Williams. So they're now going to be leading the baseball division under Rich Paul's Clutch Sports.
Is he still with Adele? Are they still happily together?
I think so, yeah.
I'm happy for them. That's
they seem like a good couple. It seems very fitting. And they seem fun.
But yes, Rich Paul saw the $700 million deal going down. He's like, I want a percentage of that.
I need to get into baseball. Makes sense to me.
Because like NBA money is wild per season. It's more than Major League Baseball. But the longevity, but NBA is capped, so like you're kind of restricted. Now Rich Paul's going like, wait, I can get somebody $1 billion and there's no rules against that. All right, I'm in. Let's get some baseball up in Clutch. So yes. Rich Paul is going from selling LeBron, like what a life arc.
No,
you're selling LeBron like jerseys and sneakers, hustling when he's in high school to now like the biggest super agent in the world. It's quite a story arc for Rich Paul.
It is. It's really cool. And I know Dave is saying trying to ruin another sport. I think he does a great job with all of his clients that he has and has expanded his team. He's brought in, isn't Nicole Lynn's under him? Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is with him. Jalen Hurts'
agent. She's under, like, he's also diversified his group. And, the amount of work they do, I feel like they connect with their players in a very meaningful way. Like agents are very businessy. Like, listen, they're down. It's the bottom dollar for them. They get paid off of the commission and stuff. But I feel like they do a good job of like building that relationship where it's more like we're friends. I'm not just your agent. You know, they're at games, they're supporting. Just the way they talk about
He'll
them
come
seems
have
something
Adele
different.
sing in your living room.
Yeah, you know,
stuff like that. Normal stuff.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, so congrats to them, and I think it's a genius business move. Listen, you see what's going on in baseball right now. You see those numbers.
Yeah.
Get into soccer, get into baseball, get over into Saudi Arabia leagues and stuff, like tap in where the money is flying and catch a couple million or billion.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's about that time where we wind down, Renee, and we go to...
Is it game time?
Yeah. Oh, well, it is game time before we get to Guess That Ballpark. And that's the game time I wanted to tell you about. You can use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. And literally, the screen was sitting in front of me, and my dumb brain was so focused on Guess That Ballpark. But you should not be dumb, and you should use Game Time, because Game Time is the fastest growing ticket app in the country. I've used it a couple times now. It's awesome. There's ticket prices out there are wild, and Game Time has your back because they have killer deals on last-minute tickets with the best price guarantee. You can stop stressing over the tickets and get hyped for all the fun you're going to have. Flash deals, easy to find and buy tickets to all your favorite events in your area, image of your seat views, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection. Game Time has your back. So get exclusive flash deals and tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will literally credit you 110% of the difference. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, enter code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, just create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, now let's get to our Game Time. And that is Guess That Ballpark. And Renee, there's not many left. I think we have 4 remaining.
Cuatro.
And they are Citi Field.
Yes.
Target Field.
Yes.
Oriole Park.
Yes.
Camden Yards. And I forget the 4th.
I was going to do sign language, but I don't think you know sign language.
No, I don't. I barely know English.
I also multilingual, guys. Add that to my list.
You know sign language?
I do.
Oh, wow.
Just the letters, though, and like basic things.
Okay.
You know,
Look at
basic
you.
gestures. You know, something
Big
like
brain on Renee.
Like, you know, I speak multiple languages. No sign language. Yeah, I speak Spanish.
I don't.
I minored in Spanish. That was one of my. I had a double minor actually. One of my minors was
nice humble brag. I didn't minor in anything because that would have meant more work. All right, Renee, what's the 4th stadium?
I was definitely a nerd. PNC.
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 All right, Julia, hit us with today's Guess That Ballpark.
Just a reminder of the score. It is 11-7.
All right, yeah. Ooh, I'm going to go. Final answer.
I'm sorry, 11. Oh, yeah, it is 11-7.
Oh, actually.
Wait, you have a final answer already? It was up for 2 seconds.
I know.
Should we... Okay, actually,
I maybe not have a final answer.
Hey, you better choose wisely. You are losing.
You just cheat better than me.
Oh, this is kind of tricky, actually.
It is a little tricky, that right field, I think.
Wait, are we sure? Hold on.
I trust Chris, I think.
I don't think this... Are we missing something?
Oh, no, Renee.
Huh.
I wish this... website I used to cheat was a little bit better. It helping me cheat.
That's your problem. You're salty because you try to cheat and you can't. Loser of the game gets ill, Eugene.
Yeah, okay.
I should have read that.
I'm gonna go with my original answer. How would you like me to submit it?
Slack Julia.
Slack Julia. All right.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I'm going to be quicker today, guys. Okay, I think I know it. I'm going to slack you, Julia.
All right. Oh, look at that little, look at that new little thing. the little picture in picture.
Come on, words. You can do it.
I didn't know what I was going to call it.
Look at that,
little
actually, I'm kind of stuck between.
Live look. I'm at us struggling. Are you submitting?
No, I don't know. I was going to.
Focus, Renee.
I got distracted.
I submitted. I'm in.
I don't know because this is kind of like.
And I know I'm gonna lose, so I don't have that much on the line.
You just have to get the next 4 correct, and you have to hope I get one of them incorrect, and you win. You could tie me. And then if I get a couple incorrect, you could beat me. Okay. Let me stop overthinking it.
Okay.
Let me stop overthinking it. I'm going to slack you, Julia. You get to read out loud the answers. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. I was typing the answer instead of your name. Okay.
Oh, boy. Here we go. She's falling apart.
Oh,
She's overthinking it, folks. Oh, no. Did you submit?
I did. But I'm like, okay, wait. Let me just.
I don't like my answer anymore, but that's okay.
What?
I feel like I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm done.
You submitted? You're good?
I'm done.
All right.
If I get today, I'm going to lock into at least tie for first. So this is huge.
Oh, okay.
This is like Eagles, Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Do we have the same answer, Julia? Oh, no! Different answers. Wait a minute.
Is somebody correct?
This could wrap it up for you, Renee.
I'm going to be, okay, I can't handle this.
All right, what is the so my answer that we both submitted is Target Field. Your answer is
Target Field. Oh no.
What did you go with?
I went with PNC, but I thought it was Target.
You could be, I don't feel great about my answer.
Did anybody in the chat say an answer? I think everybody's like, okay, oh. Mickey's saying PNC really convincingly.
He seems like it. You might have it wrapped up here today, Renee. All right, hit us with the answer. Yeah, the big reveal. It is.
Oh no, that delay is killing me. No!
Target! Yes!
No way!
Never a doubt.
No way!
Never a doubt. Still alive.
No,
Hope is still alive.
That's not true.
Mm-hmm. So what is it, 11-8 now?
That's not true.
11-8, Renee. Oh, you're going to be worried about this all weekend.
No.
Yeah, come Monday, I'm going to be.
I literally was stuck between Target Field and PNC, and I thought the way
That's a shame. That's really a shame.
Oh, are you kidding me?
That's too bad. Yeah.
Wow. I just knew I had it. Today I actually felt, and I'm on a 3-game winning streak.
No, not anymore.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Renee's pain is going to wrap up the show today for us here at the PHLY Phillies podcast.
It's 11-8, so technically.
It's going to come down to the wire, hopefully.
Okay, wait. No, I can't lose. Because it's 11-8.
I could tie you.
Yeah, so the worst I can do is tie. But that's still, tying's just as bad
considering you cheated like 10 days in advance.
Well, also considering I was up by 5. Like, I can't then turn around and tie you. That's just as bad as losing.
Mm-hmm. That would be pretty bad for you, considering you cheated so much further in advance.
I have to win, convincingly.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable. Guys, we'll be better on Monday.
Thanks to everybody that hung out with us today here in the chat and that listens to the podcast. We appreciate and love all of you. Everybody go out there and have yourself a great weekend. Thanks to Julia for producing and stepping in today as our man Tyler is enjoying the warm sunshine of Florida. For Renee and myself, have a great weekend, everyone. We will be back on Monday a little later than normal because I have the double dip duty of Eagles, Seahawks, Monday Night Football. We'll do our Eagles predictions on Monday because we have time.
Yeah, we have time. We'll do.
It's not a Sunday game.
Basically, a pregame show.
Yeah. We'll do Eagles pregame before I do Eagles pregame with Bo.
Enjoy your cruise, though, Spiral Out. I wish you were taking me with you.
Oh,
He's going on a cruise until the 28th, so he'll be missing us. But don't worry, you can always catch up on what you guys missed on the podcast platforms, on YouTube, and hopefully by the time Spiral Out comes back from the cruise, I'll have one guest at ballpark.
And Mopar says, let's have some drinks. I agree with that.
Cheers! Guys, I have a Starbucks cup today.
Oh, mine's empty now.
Oh, that's okay.
I'd like to go put some bourbon in it. Mopar was at the Flyers watch event last night down at the game, and the Flyers won. And they won a shootout.
I know.
Who is this team? They're 3-0 in shootouts all of a sudden. All right, we'll keep talking if we don't shut up. We got to get out of here.
We could do this. We're still went over, guys, but we're still under the 75-minute mark, which is a positive, I guess.
All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
We all silly like the mayor.